Right. Shall we go on to reacting to these woeful predictions then?
Yeah. I think there's some good predictions in there. There might be a lot of woeful ones. They're not all bad.
Right. First of all,
Don't laugh.
first of all, we've got ones to watch. Yeah. So we had 3 players at the start of the season each.
I do think I can remember all of mine.
So obviously we haven't got a producer. So spoiler, I've kind of had a look at some of them, and I think Levi's done quite well on this.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I think I remember. I remember dribs and drabs. I remember doing the predictions, all the stuff pre-season. There is some things I definitely can't remember. But I was thinking back to it when I knew we were doing this episode, and I do think I can remember a lot of them. So I'm interested to see how it goes.
Okay. Just a quick one. Shall we go to 3 players to watch out for this season then?
Yeah. Sure. I'll let you go first with your first pick.
Okay, so I can never say it, but I've got Soboslai.
Soboslai, yeah.
For Liverpool.
That's how you say it. That sounds right.
It sounds right, doesn't it?
My first one I've got is Alejandro Garnacho. Yeah, I've got him as my player to watch. I think maybe last year you could say it was a breakthrough season, but at the same time, I think this will be the breakthrough season. I think last year we got to see him. The fans wanted to see him. He was exciting. We got to see him scoring goals in
I feel like
competitions.
I feel like United fans knew he was coming.
Yeah, but I think in terms of the Premier League, I think the Premier League will know now.
Number 2, I've got Nicholas Jackson.
I've got Nicholas Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pre-season, I thought he was immense. I was watching quite a few. What did Tony get like last season? Like 18?
18, 19, yeah.
I think really Jackson's going to get 15.
You could have.
But I've got Anthony for a player to watch.
Anthony. You got him in there. I've got an Anthony.
Who?
I've got Anthony Gordon. I've got him as my player to watch in that. I think we'll see maybe why they paid the money for him this year.
Right, so...
I don't think that was horrible. There was one horrible one in there.
There was, yeah.
It was Liam's. You've obviously just heard it anyway, so...
Yeah, so the first one was Garnacho for Levi and Soboslai for me. I think Soboslai's had poor season. He's not been about... Garnacho has been up there. I had him as the best player for United this season, so I think Levi's done well there.
Well, I think I'll give you a bit of credit because I think you come out and said that, and Soboslai for the first 4, 5, 6 weeks looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And it just didn't last the season. Garnacho, I'm quite happy with it just because when we've listened to the clip there, I didn't say like he'll be absolutely fantastic. I just said breakthrough season, and I think everyone will be a lot more aware who he is. And I think that's probably true, so I'll take that.
Definitely aware of him.
Yeah.
Jackson, I've just said that he'll get 15 goals. I'm pretty sure.
That's about the number that he hit.
Yeah, let us just check.
I mean, we all know how wasteful he was.
Yeah.
And, you know, that I think that was disappointing. I think, did he get 14?
Yeah.
I see. It's not bad, though, that, is it? You said he'll get 15 goals. No. He was pretty close to that.
Yeah.
I expected him, from what I'd seen pre-season and the way he was like, I know it's pre-season, and that'll teach us a lesson going into next year.
Yeah.
But it's all you got to go off at that point for new players. And he was bullying players, he was fast.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just been not clinical enough in a poor Chelsea team.
Yeah, like...
who have overachieved at the back end of this season.
Yeah.
Underachieved for the majority of the season.
I think he needs to work out, like, even like in pre-season we mentioned in that video there, like, his link-up play were great.
Yeah.
And then this season it just doesn't seem to be there, but...
Maybe I'll give him too much credit here, but I'm going to give him the Darwin Núñez treatment going into his second season, and make of that what you will. Well, I think it depends how you feel about Núñez.
Well, he's going to get hit off, you mean?
Yeah, now obviously we didn't see that, I wouldn't say with Núñez this year. I think he was pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the same about Jackson. I've seen enough from him to think he's capable. On. Yeah. And maybe I look like an idiot for saying that, but...
Well, we'll see when we get to our predictions for next season.
On to the last one. I mean, that's all you there, mate. That stinks for you.
Yeah, that's good for you. I think Gunn's had a fantastic season.
And it doesn't seem like a crazy shout now, but at the time...
I was saying Harvey Barnes were there.
I think a lot of people would have said that. And he was established too, but I think Gordon, he'd come in huge fee from Everton, pretty much forced the exit, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
He'd come off the back of that under-21 Euros win. And I think he has had a really good season, Anthony Gordon. And I think he's capable of even more, to be fair. So I'm quite happy with that one. Yeah. I'll let you go into yours.
I'm not happy with mine. Well, I can't help that he fucking had a little kerfuffle with his girlfriend or whatever.
You picked him.
Well, if he behaves, there might be a player there.
How many more goals would he have got? What did he end the season on in the Prem? 2?
Well,
Did he get 2?
yeah,
1?
maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I'll sort of. I'm not backing your shout, but
I know now I can put him as my most improved for next season.
I think maybe I'll look like an idiot. I do think there's a player there somewhere.
I think there's a player in there.
Where that level is, I couldn't tell you.
I think there's a good player in there.
He's better than what he's shown.
Yeah.
Whether or not we'll ever see that at United, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Right. So we're going on to our awards now. So what we've done, we've gave our end of season awards.
For this season, we have.
For this season, yeah. And we're going to compare them to what we put at the start.
So I think it'd be a good... Have you got them on screen straight away?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't just reveal
I was gonna say, I'm going to have a look down the list now and see if I can remember who no, go on, just get it up. I was going to say, I'm going to see if I can remember who some of them were, but...
So obviously, the top goal scorer, we've both got Haaland, so we smashed it there.
Yeah, easy.
The most assists is Watkins. We wouldn't have dreamt of that. So I had Trent.
Not a bad shout.
You had De Bruyne, which is third in the list.
If they were both weren't out for all the season, like De Bruyne was out for a long time, Trent was out for a long time, but we both picked a player that ended up being out the majority of the season.
Yeah.
But like you say, De Bruyne still got some numbers, but that's just Manchester City for you. The next one honks from us.
Golden Glove.
Yeah.
He doesn't honk that bad. I mean, he's got 8.
He got 8, and the top was what, 17?
16.
So he's halfway there. If we had 2 of him, maybe we would have.
I mean, he's got the most saves in the Premier League.
We'll take it. We got one hand on the trophy.
So clean sheets. Obviously, we had Onana.
We both had Onana. We thought he was going to make the world of difference, and
he's got 9. Sorry, he got 1 today, didn't he?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible start from him.
He still looks dodgy now.
Not sure if I saw it recover in the Champions League performances specifically were horrible.
Yeah.
I've seen enough from him that he does give me confidence that he can be the goalkeeper for us.
Okay, so your player of the year was Haaland. Mine was Bruno Fernandes. And we have put...
Foden.
Watkins.
Player of the year over Foden.
Oh, no, sorry, I've put... No,
we're having technical difficulties. Sorry.
No, I've put Rodri.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, I'll allow that.
I don't know why Watkins
I mean,
Rodri.
I was just very shocked, especially now that we know that City have won the league, that you would put Watkins.
The thing is, you know why I put Rodri? Because the previous pod, we said who's the best player for City this season, and I put Rodri. So how can I put... I couldn't put Foden.
No, you can't. It's fine. Nobody looks back at those things. It's fine.
Nah, it had to be Rodri for me. Like today, even if you use today as an example, it was 2-1, and it could have gone bad for City, but Rodri getting that goal towards the end has just settled the nerves, and it just changed the whole game.
And that's not even what he's in the team for.
No.
I mean, obviously it's great if you can add goals, but like we were saying before, he's there to set the pace, he's comfortable on the ball, he's the best around at it. So I wouldn't argue with it, because I think the only 2 contenders, I mean, not 2, let's say 3, 2 of the 3 contenders for player of the year for me are Rodri and Foden. And as I discussed on the pod before, Foden just edges it for me, because I think this is the first time where he's been the number 1 man for Man City in terms of in front of goal, and in terms of what he can create and being a match winner. And I know that Rodri is a match winner in a different way, and he actually has come up with the goals.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't argue with that.
Young player of the year, yours was Saka, and mine was Saka as well. I had Isak / there, but I'm pretty sure we said at the start Isak didn't qualify for young player, did he?
I'm surprised that Saka did, to be fair, but we must have done the research at the time. So.
Yeah. So I think we both put Saka, and obviously, who have you put for your young player this season?
Palmer.
Yeah, Palmer.
It can't really be anyone else,
No,
can it?
no.
I mean, that's just one of them ones because of the numbers, everything else, the performances, the fact that he looks like one of the experienced players in that Chelsea team when he's such a young player.
Yeah.
It's just an really easy pick. I don't think you can have anybody else.
Okay. So, have you picked your flop?
I have.
So, yours at the start of the season, your predicted flop was going to be Caicedo.
Yes.
And mine was Havertz. So I think it's fair to say I got that wrong.
Are you taking that one on the chin? Because I think for a lot of time this season, I would have still been like, oh, I'm not sure.
To be fair, for the first half of the season, Havertz was a flop.
Yeah, it took a while to see that difference in the team.
It's only the last half of the season Havertz started playing well.
He's been good, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think I'm in agreement. Yeah. I think he's been decent.
Well, it's not far off.
He wasn't looking good at the start. It just wasn't quite clicking, was it?
Yeah. So who's your flop then that you've given for this season?
Scorer of a halfway line goal today. His first goal for Chelsea.
So you've got it right.
Caicedo. And it's more because of the money than anything else. It's difficult to pick.
I think he's had a good last period of the season.
I still think it's nowhere near enough. And to be honest, if I was still going to pick one today, I don't think there's any standouts. People jump to, when you say flop and say you're picking a specific season, because you could say flop, you could easily say someone that already is there.
Yeah.
But, is it a new signing? People jump to players that haven't played, and I don't think that's fair. Or not played enough.
Yeah. No, it's not.
It's easy to say Mason Mount, but the guy's had about 7 starts.
I don't even think he's got 7 starts.
So you can say it all you want. I don't agree with you. I don't think there's been enough football there to prove that fact.
No.
Caicedo's been playing majority of the season for Chelsea, and he's not been an 100+ million man. So for the sheer amount of money involved, I've stuck with my original.
Wow. You smashed it there then, haven't you?
Well, if me giving myself an award counts, then yeah.
I've put, for this season, I've gone Szoboszlai as my flop.
Oh, I think that is harsh.
It's not.
I think that's harsh.
I guarantee you, if Szoboszlai was at United, got bought in, and he did exactly what he's done at Liverpool this season, everyone will be saying how much of a flop this guy is.
Do you think it stinks? Do you remember? I know it's completely different players, but I think it stinks a bit of Anthony into United. Scored in his first 3 or 4 games, and everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's decent." And I know, again, completely different.
In there.
Yeah, but completely different player. But Szoboszlai came and everyone was like, I remember saying it on the pod. I was like, "This guy's dropped into that team, and he looks like he's been there ages, and he looks quality." And then that just fizzled away and never came back. And on a completely different, I think that's comparable to Anthony's introduction to United.
Yeah,
scored against Arsenal's debut. Scored against City when we got beat.
Everyone called Anthony a flop, so why ain't Szoboszlai a flop?
Yeah, so I think, I'll give you that, but I do think it's potentially harsh. But Caicedo one could be also harsh. He's a young player, but I'm giving that more for the money than anything.
Yeah, why slating young players like that, Levi?
Because he cost over 100 million and he's shit.
Right, we've got most improved next. So you've gone with Nunes and I've gone Mudryk.
Both relatively poor. I actually think yours is a better shout than mine because I think
Mudryk improved from 1 goal.
I think Mudryk improved, but the bar was very low.
Yeah.
Nunes, I don't think improved. I think he has been the same. I don't think he's been horrible.
Maybe his stats, we haven't looked at this.
I've not looked at his stats bang on the money.
No, but maybe his stats have maybe improved, but the player still missed a lot of chances. He's not really improved.
I think he's had 2 very similar seasons. Maybe Liverpool fans would disagree. Mudryk, obviously, the potential's still there, and I do think he's been a lot better. Is he ever going to be worth the price tag they paid for him and the hype? Maybe not. But he has been a better player for Chelsea this year, but the bar was very low. Yeah. So maybe you've got a tap in there. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
But it's a tap in.
I wouldn't take credit for that one.
I'll let you go first.
So my most improved was Havertz.
I think I say Hazard.
I nearly did. Havertz.
I nearly went for him,
He's definitely most improved.
I've put 2, and Havertz actually in one of them. So say I nearly went for him. He's third.
All right.
I went for Diogo Dalot. I think it's maybe a personal one to me.
No, and honestly, yeah, that's.
I was very much sort of getting tired of watching him. I've watched an awful lot of him this year, and I even think this season he did start poorly. I remember talking about him on the pod and saying I'm sick of watching these performances where he's at fault. I still think that's crept into his game at times, but we're playing poor football, and he's not going to iron that out overnight.
No.
But for him to be a player of the season contender, if not a firm player of the season for United, and I think the majority of fans would have said we should have got rid of him, and he was poor. I think he deserves his credit. But another one I just wanted to sort of give a bit of a mention to was Leon Bailey. I thought he came in with a lot of expectation, and I thought he was a flop. And I think he's been good this season.
Yeah, he has. He's
much improved.
He's been one of the main reasons Aston Villa are up there as well.
Yeah, I think he's added goals. He's looked dangerous. And he was anything but that last year.
Yeah.
But I remember watching him in the pre-season before last season. And I was like, oh, he's going to be quality. And Leverkusen, he was very good. And he just didn't quite integrate well into the team. And maybe it's credit to Unai Emery. Maybe he was having some issues, couldn't quite get his feet right, God knows what. But I think he's been good and deserves a shout. And Havertz as well. My only reason I didn't kind of want to put Havertz in was more because I still think he was pretty poor for half the season.
Yeah.
So if you say most improved, I think it's from the start of this season to the end of this season. But you could argue he wasn't fantastic last year at Chelsea either.
That's what I've gone off.
Yeah,
I think last season he was terrible.
But
at Chelsea,
I think I've watched a lot more of him for Arsenal than I did for Chelsea.
Yeah.
In fairness.
So the surprise then, you've gone with Harvey Barnes at the start of the season.
I feel a bit annoyed by that one because he was injured most of the year.
Yeah.
And I feel like it could have been, but obviously we never had the chance to be.
You were surprised how injured he was?
I was, so I'll take that one. I've actually picked him, so.
Have you?
No.
What have you picked?
I picked Cole Palmer. I know I've already picked him as Young Player of the Year, but I mean, is there any bigger surprise than the fact that this guy's scored 20 goals plus?
Well, I mean, my prediction for a surprise was Anthony, and I was surprised how shit he is.
So you get the award for that too.
I get the award.
You got it bang on.
I've gone with Palmer this season as well.
You just can't give it to anyone else, I don't think. It's a bit boring because
he is the biggest surprise. Like, no one thought that.
It is. It was a 50-something million fee. I was surprised how much they paid for him, and I was also surprised how good he was. So now I'm surprised that they didn't pay more for him. The whole thing's been a surprise. But I don't think... Maybe there's a few others that you could make the case for. Havertz, maybe. I think everyone would have said, what a stupid signing. This guy will flop. And I'm surprised that he's not... It might change my mind.
So our overachievers. So the predictions were Aston Villa for Levi and Burnley. I think Levi's absolutely smashed that one.
I think that one was a tap-in, though, because... Was that a massive... Yeah, of course it's an overachievement, but...
Because they started playing well at the end of the season, so you've probably gone off that, have you?
Yeah, I don't really know. I think it was the signings, Emery, when he came in last year, yeah. But a lot of people would have said it is viable that they break into the European places. I don't think people would have had them finishing fourth.
No.
So in that sense, it looks good.
Yeah.
But I think people would have said they could have got top six.
Did you have them as overachievers but finishing like seventh?
I would have said they could have got top six, top 8. I don't know. This was a shoe.
Well, it looks great.
It does look great. I'll take it.
Mine were Burnley, which is terrible.
That absolutely stinks of piss.
But we both had them outside the relegation.
We
Burnley.
did. But that's very, very high. I mean, they finished second from bottom.
Yeah.
Is that an overachievement? Did you have them actually finishing bottom? No. So that was an overachievement.
No, I had them like fucking 13th.
Had them 8th. Where United ended up.
Where did you have them?
I don't know.
I think you had him like 11th, I think we were both similar. So my overachievers were Aston Villa that I've given to.
Yes, sorry. I was like, no, you didn't. You gave it to Burnley. Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
You can't give it to anyone else, I don't think.
Aston Villa have been great. So the underachievers, your prediction... both our predictions were Spurs.
I think Spurs have either done exactly what they should have done or overachieved.
I think so too.
But going into the season... New manager, they lost Harry Kane. That was where I was putting them underachieving because I was like, they're going to be horrible.
Yes.
And I do think that they did pretty well considering all that.
They were top of the league for start of season.
They played some good football. They still did when they had all their players fit. They made some good signings.
Yeah.
The manager looks quite good, I think.
I think they just got figured out. I think it was dead fresh what they were doing.
Yeah, no one knew how to really deal with it, did they?
And they got figured out, I think.
Yeah.
So my underachievers that I've put for this season, I've gone United.
Same.
They've got to be, haven't they? We both had them top 4 at least. So
well, I had them
top
to win
2.
the league.
We both top 2, yeah.
And there was there's blind bias there. I'm just hopeful. Did I really think United would win the league? It was probably a 20% chance in my head, which is still a lot higher than reality.
No, but we would have thought definitely top 4.
But you could sort of manifest, you manifest your own team. It's like England going to the Euros. I'm saying they're going to win it. But that's because I want England to win it. But I also do think they could. And that's kind of how I went with United. They obviously finished 3rd last year, won a trophy, got to another final.
So you would have thought so.
Made some signings. I was
Yeah.
expecting improvement, and we got worse. And it's taught me that is United at the moment. In the 10 years post-Fergie, it's steady improvement, regression. Steady improvement, regression. They never improve on the steady improvement. It's one good, one bad.
So next season, steady improvement.
Well, I'm not saying that. You could have 2 bad seasons and then 1 good season, but it goes like that. It's just been going up and down with, no success in the Premier League.
We'll see if they make top 2 for your predictions next season, won't we?
Spoiler alert, even though we've not filmed it yet, they don't.
What, really? You made that decision already?
Yeah, it'd take something crazy for me.
Even if we made like 5 signings between now and...
The 5 signings would have to be like...
Ronaldo.
I'll bring him back now at 30, 38. Ronaldo, Mbappe, Messi on a Zimmer frame. I'll bring Beckham back. Get his fucking Predators out, get him in. Rooney as player manager.